Hello there, gamers! We are here for our next match. Here we have Sangoose versus Robertatron. This should be a pretty good one. I feel particularly that Robertatron underperformed in qualifiers because of the skill cap and will be a much scarier threat for this match. So although we're looking at seed 32 versus 16, I think it's going to be closer than impressions may give off, but I could be completely wrong. I think Sangoose will make for a very good opponent though here. Looks like we have some warm-ups here. We have a Sheena Ringo song banger already. You love to see it. I don't know whose warm-up this is, but I like it. This is AR5 because it's a normal diff, so that's pretty spicy. This is not the warm-up? Okay, cool. Randomly selected by tournament client. Hell yeah. I was gonna say, like, wow, we got a sight reads normal? Hell yeah. I just got here, so I have no idea what's happening. I'm gonna be real. Let me look here at the sheet. Here we are looking at a loser's bracket match, so this is kind of a do or die situation for both of these players. Whoever loses will be out of the tournament, unfortunately. Make sure you cheer on your favorite player between the two of them. Give them your energy. Looks like we're just figuring out who needs to be where. Hello, Flo Flim. Love that letter. Yeah, we gotta cheer on Robert. Our beloved once upon a time controller player. We have got our rolls here. Sangoose rolls a very large 88. That is crazy. We'll have to see what Robert can throw back with here. 30. That was gonna be a tough one to win, not gonna lie. We will be seeing our first bans here for our players. Robert's gotta practice his rolls. Okay, it looks like we do have warm-ups. A little out of order, that's okay. We have had issues today with Wybin actually showing the warm-ups, unfortunately, so it's possible that they saw the sheet and didn't think there was one. Just waiting on our warm-up to be selected. Oh, this is another banger that your client selected. Sheesh. I'm trying to think about what the players would be looking at for their bans here. I think if I were Sangoose, just due to kind of the round that we're in, I'd probably try to ban a DT, and I think if I were Robert, I'd probably try to ban a Hard Rock. Now, like looking at here, the stats, if they'll actually load today, because I have not gotten these to load. Cool, they actually work today. Looking at the performance of Sangoose, their worst performance was on DT2, and that was actually one of Robert's stronger points in general, especially for the earlier rounds. Although their best score was No Mod 2, which Sangoose did better on. So I don't know, kind of tough. Maybe Robert will ban Hidden or Hard Rock. I think that's probably the route I'd go. Oh, it's a classic. Oh yeah, and hopefully you guys are paying attention for all you guys who are going to be in the next round. We have the pool out now for quarterfinals. So after this match, you guys should go and practice the pool. Things are going to get spicier as it goes along. That Hard Rock, ooh, that looks spicy, I'm not going to lie. Looked fun though. Looks like we got our slots situated now. Players are finally in the right spots. A little bit of confusion there. Alright, we are finally getting into our warm-up. Very nice. I've never understood this background. Why does it just randomly say party hard? This is quite the low star rated warm-up, but what this will allow the players to do is kind of get into that groove of that DT feeling. Both players looking pretty strong on this so far. A little bit of act loss from Robertatron and a slightly weaker spin means that they're at a small score deficit, but it's really not too big of a deal here. Still a lot of opportunity for this to go the other way. It's going to come down to these spins. Hard to tell who's actually in the lead at this point. I think Robert might have caught more bananas on that, but was it enough? Oh, we are in spin to win territory in this warm-up. Both players here almost at the end with their FCs. Can they hold it on? Ooh, that was a scary movement from Robert. By the skin of his teeth, he will take his own warm-up. 654 score difference. It really came down to just the spins. Now we're going to see if Sangoose has a warm-up for us. If not, we will go into the bans. No warm-up. They are already warm and ready to go. I guess we're re-rolling? Fair enough. Okay. Opportunity number 2. Oh my god, they improved their roll even more from the 88 they did earlier. With that 98. Oh my goodness. It is not looking good for Robert on the roll, I'm gonna be honest. And they roll a 41. Not even a terrible roll, but what are you gonna do against the 98? That's crazy. And now we will have to see the first ban here from Robert. Let's see what they decide to get rid of. Maybe Hidden. That's kind of my gut feeling. Hidden 1. What's funny to me is that I would argue that this is probably the most consistent of the hidden maps, so I think it's kind of interesting that they got rid of the consistency pick and left the more interesting ones. Maybe they feel more confident in them? I don't know. Sangoose will now get to ban their map. And I feel like they'll ban DT. DT3, yeah, okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. And they're gonna pick No Mod 1 right into consistency. God, I love consistency, I swear. Surely. This map is cool though. This is a custom for this tournament, which is nice. Shoutouts to all the custom mappers. This is kind of a tough one to determine who I think is favored on. I think Sangoose definitely has the potential to win this one. It's really just going to come down to who's going to FC, right? Who's going to hold the longer combo. Robertatron tends to be good across the board on these lower star rated pools, but you know, this is one of the highest skill cap maps in this one here, at least in the no mod pool that isn't tech. So this is really just going to come down to how good are you at your kind of more standard. Oh, and we're already seeing misses from Robertatron. A little bit of a slip up on the very first combo of the map. This is going to give Sangoose a slight score lead here. Just a 4,000 point score lead. Oh, and we do see a break from Sangoose. That's going to bring the lead back to Robertatron. This is going to be a more significant lead than what we saw before with Sangoose previously. This is a long map though, so there's a lot of opportunities for the score to flip in the opposite direction. Robertatron is now well into 200 combo. Sangoose is about to reach there so they can stop the score difference increase that was happening. Now we're past the first third of the map, and both of these players are looking really strong at this point. This score lead is very small of 18,000. If Robert were to miss, that would swing back over to Sangoose. This map does stay about this difficulty up until about the last quarter, where there's a bit of a diff spike. So I wonder if we'll see the players hold out into that section and then break. Or maybe they'll just ride it out until the end, honestly, because they're looking really strong. Ooh, and Robert misses here. That score lead is going to very quickly start to swing over to Sangoose. Yeah, this is not a great spot to miss. They kind of missed like right in the middle, and there's another miss that's going to be really bad for Robert here. Sangoose is not showing any signs of breaking. Here we have the left-right little jumpy section here. Both players hitting it so far. The score lead is now over 32,000. This one's going to be close. Robert's going to need to hold out for the end of this map, or not going to be able to take this back. And there's another miss. In the last quarter of the map, score lead is now going to be over 60,000 if Sangoose holds. Robert missing again. I think with that miss, this is done and over. This is going to be a 100,000 score lead difference for Sangoose here by the end. Good performance from both players though. And Sangoose is going to be taking this one here. Quite the strong score. A few misses at the start, but after that they really rode it straight through to the end with a big combo. Robert says their eyes are burning. Oh no. They have picked double time 1. We are going to be going into the consistency double time pick. I don't really know what to call DT2 then. I don't know, DT2 is a weird map. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I think it's a good map, it's just a little bit easier than this one.
And the band was tight and I was flying when I met you. You didn't seem to mind spending your time with this crazy guy whose eyes were wide open for you. For a time we had it good, I did the best I could till I lost you on the way. You stood up for yourself, had to put us on the shelf for another day. And I find some peace. This time I let you know we're gonna grow. I'm gonna show you my heart and soul. This time, my love. I wanna be your man, your lover and your friend. I'm gonna love you true. I wanna be the one you come home to. I'm gonna treat you right. I'll do you every night.
And we are now rolling into our double time pick here. We see a little bit of an accuracy drop here from Sangoose. Not that it's going to really matter. It's only going to be a very slight score increase for Robert. This is very much a consistency focused map. This has got some larger jumps, but each time there's a larger jump, you pretty much get a hyper fruit. This is a banger. I'm just going to say it. And we do see our first miss, and that's going to come from Robertatron here. That's going to give Sangoose a decent lead here, especially with a back-to-back miss here in this Ki. Sangoose does find their own miss, but it's not going to really be enough here. Unfortunately, Robert's not up to the 200 combo, so they're not taking as much advantage of that miss as they could. However, this will start to go back to about 20,000 for the score difference. That's only going to be a 1 miss difference, and both players missing at the same time. Now this is getting quite spicy. The score lead is very slowly moving towards Robert here. There's a 20 combo difference here. Oh, this is spicy. Robert here has now hit the 2,000 score. Oh my goodness, and he finds a miss, and so does Sangoose! Only a 5,000 score difference. Robert's slight combo lead is going to allow them to slowly grab that lead. If they hold on here, they're going to have the lead by just a few hundred points. Sangoose misses! Oh my goodness. I think that's going to seal it there. Robert does take this pick here. And that is going to be their win. This is going to go back to Sangoose, who's going to be able to pick again. This was really close, so this is going to be interesting. I think, honestly, with the way the Nomad went, I could see them wanting to do that again. I wonder, though. Maybe they'll pick Hard Rock. And we're moving into Nomad 2. We're going to keep it a Nomad. Heavy... I don't know what word I'm looking for. So just going to drop that one. This is an absolute banger. I'm glad to see this get picked. Love this one. Both players looking pretty strong here as they both hit 100 combo. Both players miss at the exact same time. Looks like Sangoose is able to come out with a little bit of a score advantage just due to the fact that Robot numbers 2. Let's see how the players do into the Ki here. Both of them holding on to a combo. Both players still holding on, man. This is only a 3,000 score difference. It's so close. Oh man, it's so close. I don't think either one of them is going to miss here at the end of this map. I think this is going to be a 3,000 score difference. There will be a spinner, but that's going to be an insane comeback. I just don't see it happening. And Sangoose will barely take that lead. Oh my goodness. What a risky and close pick. Both players did really well. That was cool. Robert does get to pick again. I had a feeling this was going to be a good match. Moving on to double time 2. I see we're just going to crawl down each of these. I really do think this is a significantly easier map than the previous double time. The only major difference is that this is a lower approach rate. This is AR9 after DT, I believe. It says it's 9.3. I guess I'm just wrong. But just for double time, that's a pretty low approach rate. Usually you're looking at like AR8 DT, which is 9.7. So this is pretty much just a pretty simple consistency map. Very few jumps. This is just kind of a density map, honestly. Oh, and Robert is the one who finds a miss right before the Ki starts. A second miss too. Sangoose does find some act drop, but honestly, I'd rather take act drop than combo drop here. 40,000 score lead and growing here for Sangoose. This is not the position you want to be in with Robert. If you were Robert here. Ay ay ay. And what you've seen so far is pretty much how hard this map's gonna get, so... It's still very possible though, with one, probably two misses from Sangoose it could swing over, but so far they've looked quite consistent on this map. Moving into the last third of the map here. Both players here holding nice combos, looking pretty consistent at this point. Let's see how they do going to the next Ki. A little more act drop from Sangoose. At this point they have lower accuracy now than Robert, who has misses. It's quite funny. Again, it's not really going to make a huge difference here. Combo is king still. Robert misses again. That's really bad. I just don't see Sangoose breaking enough that they're able to take the lead back. I'd say this one is in the bag for Sangoose. Good effort from both players. Nice FC from Sangoose. Good job on that. Good score from Robert. Still 900,000. This is going to put Robert in a tough situation though, because now it's Sangoose's pick and they can move down the Nomad line still. Although Nomad 2 was really close, we might see something different when we get into Nomad 3 as they're picking. They're actually just going straight down the pools. It's awesome. I love that neither one of them wants to even think about Hidden or Hard Rock. That's so funny. This is a banger actually, honestly. This is a kind of interesting map. I like some of the patterns in this. Got some big jumps in it. I would say this is our jumpy convert of the week, but this one has some like kind of deceivingly hard jumps. Honestly, a lot of ones that if the spacing was just a little larger, you get a hyper, but not to the point that I would call them pixels. It's not like that spicy, but still tricky. Looks like we're having a little bit of a Bancho moment here as he tries to figure out how to time the two clients together. There it goes. Ooh, and we see our first miss from Robert, who has just found a second miss as well. Like I said, this one is pretty tough. The timing is pretty tight on some of these jumps here, and we now have seen 3 misses. I have to wonder if maybe a Nomad ban would have worked better than Hidden like I had originally thought. Hidden might have made more sense, but I'm not sure. Robert's struggling, where Sangoose has nearly hit 200 combo with their SS here. This is already moving up to be a 100,000 score lead here in the next few seconds. There's another miss from Robert. This is looking like a bloodbath here. $130,000 score lead and growing. Sangoose is still holding on strong with their SS. Robert with more misses here. Sangoose does find a break here at the halfway point of the map, but with a difference of 175,000, it's... I don't think there's any coming back on this one. No, that's just not happening. We're moving towards 200,000 score gap now. And there's 200,000. Robert does find another miss. We're moving into the last quarter of the map here. Sangoose does find another break right at the start of this TI here. It's traded by Robert here. This is a much stronger pick than Nomad 2 was. I would definitely be worried if I was Robert about Nomad 4 getting picked next. Good performance from Sangoose. Really strong 900k here. Robert definitely tried his best, but you know, what can you do against the 900,000? And we are moving into Mixed Mod 1. This is the high approach rate map here. This is double time hard rock for this week's, or sorry, mystery mod is what we're calling it. Sorry, I see MM immediately go mixed. Skill issue on my part. This is a cool song, honestly. I kind of see why Robert picked this map. I really do think this map is one of the easier ones this week. And this is just pretty much a reading check. Can you read this approach rate? You're getting very large CS here. This is going to be like CS, what is it? 3.2 or something after Hard Rock. Bench is trying to figure itself out here, and we have the two clients lined up now. This could come down to ACK and spinners here, depending on how the players play. We'll have to see. It looks like we have a 2-banana score advantage right now for Sangoose here. Both players catching that little jump there. We do see an app drop from Robert that's going to make the score increase a little bit more felt. We're right back to a 400 score difference once again. Spooky. Now we're looking at a 200 score difference. If both of these players continue to FC, it's really just going to be a spinner battle. And it seems like the scores are now tied. Oh my goodness. Can both players hold on to their FCs? We're right here at the middle of the map now. Both players catching the hyper. This is going to be a nail biter. Robert finds a miss. The score is now going to go over to Sangoose here. This is devastating. It's going to take another miss here from Sangoose for Robert to take this point. This is match point. So if they lose this, it's the end of the match. It is not looking good though. So far, Sangoose has been quite strong. They did just find their first droplet miss, but other than that, they've looked very consistent on this. Oh, and Robert doesn't hold dash on that pattern. That is going to seal it here, folks. And Sangoose will take this point, and they will take the match as well. There was a lot of really close moments in this match. This was a lot closer than the scoreboard would lead you to believe here. Great job to both players. Well played. Robert says, I keep getting best runs on the map, so nothing works against them. But hey, that was still a very fun and exciting match. GG to the players. That was really cool. And that means that we will see Sangoose again next week in the next round of quarterfinals. Unfortunately, that does mean we will be saying goodbye to Robert. But considering this was seed 16 versus 32, I really think that was pretty good, not gonna lie. And now we will be looking at, is that Super Rooster versus Sangoose? So that should be an interesting one here. And then we have our next match an hour from now, so I hope you guys stay tuned. We have a couple more matches for this weekend. And we will see you guys for the next match. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.